You probably never heard anybody say this to you before, ever, but I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this. But being triggered is actually an amazing thing, and I'm going to show you how. I appreciate you subscribing right down at the bottom. I'm Brand Victoria, and I am helping you manifest becoming the best version of yourself, mind, body, and soul. You're probably asking yourself, how in the world is me getting angry and upset and sad actually a good thing for me? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because there's two ends of the spectrum. There's this end where you're angry and upset. Then there's this end of the spectrum where it's going to have that rubber band effect, and it is excitement and happiness and passion. And so with that, it's the energy required for you to manifest and be at and achieve your goal, your desire, your dream. And as you do that, you shift to that. Now, it's not going to be all the time like, oh, I'm feeling this way, and then boom, I'm there. You shift there. As you shift there, you will know the process to get there. And so that can become more normal for you, being over here. Okay, so good example of this. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this to you in the nicest way. You being angry, you being jealous, you getting mad and upset is going to propel you and quantum leap you. And I remember there was this time I was in this program, and there was this girl. She was a nice girl. I actually liked this girl. She was nice, she was sweet, and this was like on a video call. And it seemed like my coaches, and it seemed like all the other students, like they really liked this girl, and she was getting so much attention. I got so triggered. And also, she's like in the same space as me, like spirituality and manifestation, all that good stuff. But it triggered me when she was getting all that attention from people. Like, I got so mad, I got so angry. Like, talk about 0 to 100. Like, I was on 100. But knowing what I know, me being triggered, I know that's a good thing. And I know that's to my benefit. So instead of being like, oh, I don't like this girl, she is just so annoying, and I just going to go out my way to make sure that she doesn't feel good, or just be negative, or none of that, because I know I'm self-aware to the point where it's like, okay, I allowed myself that time to vent, and I do that like in the mirror, and I'm just looking at myself and I'm venting. All the while in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, so this is coming up for a reason. And then I can regulate my nervous system with breathing techniques. So, but that brought up that emotion in me. That emotion was meant to come up. Instead of me suppressing it or expressing it, the thing is that when you just express it, like if I would have just vented in the mirror and just left it at that, that emotion is still there. So guess what? When that same person or someone different that is similar to her comes up in my life, then I would have the same emotion come up. It's not leaving, it stays there. If you don't release the emotion, it just stays there. Or if you don't have have a perspective shift, it stays there, because it's showing you that you have a belief. You have a negative belief that is fueling this emotion. You see what I'm saying? So after I was able to vent, regulate my nervous system, I was able to get to the nitty-gritty of it, which is, why was I so triggered? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that probing question, the $1 million question. Why am I so triggered? Okay? Like, it didn't come up for nothing. I was so triggered because it brought up something from when I was younger, and I wasn't getting the attention, and I really wanted the attention. So it always is going to go back. And see it like this, y'all. How you are feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense you're feeling that emotion, it goes back to when you were younger, and how long you've been resisting releasing this feeling, the emotion. So that emotion I felt, it was boiling up for a while. So I was able to release it. And you know what you do after that? Don't stop it there, y'all. After you vent to yourself, and express it. Regulate your nervous system with breathing techniques. I can go into that more in another video. If y'all want to hear more about that, just comment at the bottom, breathing techniques, and I will tell you about it. And then once you do that, process it. Why am I so triggered? And you keep going down the line, then you'll be like, why is that so bad? Why is that so scary? Why? And keep going into that. And then from there, make a note in your mind for this, or write it down, screenshot it, whatever you need to do. Because what you're going to do is go back to the same situation. So for that, the girl in my situation that triggered me, because I was on a video call when this was happening. And so when I got upset and angry and all those, and jealousy, all those emotions were coming up, I left the video call. Okay. It was a group call and they couldn't see me, y'all. So it was, they didn't see my expression, but so I got off of there. And then once I did all that stuff, what I just told you, I went back on and I was able to test it out. Okay. And I felt better. I wasn't so triggered anymore. That's what you want to do, because if I was still boiling upset, well, let me go do it again. Because when I was processing it, maybe it was, I didn't hit the point. Like I didn't really get to the accurate experience that it related to when I was younger. So take the test, do it again, and then you will see. And you will start seeing anytime that you're triggered, you can go and do this because you got the process. You can have it in your back pocket. I mean, you know you're going to quantum leap as you do those steps because you are on this other end when you get done with it. Ooh, that's powerful, isn't it? So think about a time when you got triggered and let me know in the comments, what triggered you? What was the last thing that triggered you? And I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I'm exempt from any of this because I get triggered and it happens. And I just, and I let the emotion, I let it flow because I'm not trying. And I've done this in the past. And that's what, when I was younger, like I was super depressed when I was younger. I would always bottle everything up. And it was at a point where I was my own worst enemy. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like I would beat myself up over feeling those emotions and blaming myself for anything that happens in my reality that I didn't like. And when you are your own worst enemy, it makes things 10 times worse. It's worse than if you actually had a physical enemy. You know, has that happened to you? But as I started doing this stuff, I became my own best friend. And so I have like my own little cheerleader and my own fan. And I don't need that validation from somebody else. Like, oh, you're doing good in your business. Your video is just popping. Like, I don't need that. I like that, but I don't need it. And I know that if any emotion comes up for me and it's just like, I'm just triggered, like if I see another manifestation coach or a mindset coach and they're just like super popular and I get triggered, then okay, got it, noted. I can start doing the process so that I can see what the actual root of all this is, because it's not coming up for no reason. And that's the thing in society. They just want you to express your emotions. And then that's it, like as if that's done anything. But what that leads to is you having more momentum built up for that emotion, more anger and more anger. And then guess what happens? Boom, you become depressed. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Like, this isn't rocket science. This is reality, and this is the reality of what happens. And when you start combining the energetics and the psychology and the spirituality and the manifestation and all of it, like it all makes sense. It really does. And this has helped me so much in my life. And when anything comes up for me in my life, I can just be like, okay. And I can stop looking at the external stuff all the time and stop saying, that's bad, you're no good, and you made me feel this way, and so I don't like you. It's not like that. What it is, your emotions are guiding you. They are that thing that is going to reveal to you, like, hey, this is what you need to pay attention to so that you can easily and effortlessly achieve your goal, manifest your desire. So, again, the next time you get triggered, do the following. Express it in an appropriate way that feels comfortable for you, like my method where I go in the mirror and I vent. If it's like me going from 0 to 10, like that's what I'll do. But if it's not at a 10, then usually I can journal it out, or I can do some self-soothing and do my process with that. And then what you're going to do is regulate your nervous system by doing breathing techniques. And then after that, what you're going to do is process what the root of this is, where this is all coming from. And then you're going to take the test. You're going to put yourself in the same situation and see how you react. If it is the same, that means go back to the drawing board and process again. If you react differently and you just feel just content, like you just feel calmer, you feel more hopeful, then voila, you did it. So it's so important to know this, y'all, because I know this is helping you on your journey and you were meant to hear this information. I know when I heard this information, it was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. I needed to hear this. Because for the longest, the emotional part, I didn't really get that. I didn't get the whole regulate your nervous system thing. So that was the missing piece for me. Put it all together, and what do you get? Ooh, something beautiful. Funny story. I remember I got triggered, and it was like at night when I was about to go to sleep. And I don't remember what I was watching prior to going to sleep. I think it was something, I think it was either about ETs, or it was something like esoteric. And like I just started getting scared of the dark. Like, and I'm usually not scared of the dark, but the times when I do get scared of the dark, it's like it's a trigger moment, like it'll trigger fear in me. And the way I knew that this was being triggered for me was I was getting sweaty. Like it was just getting so hot, and I keep it on like 68 degrees in my apartment. And I sleep with the covers like over my head. And so like only my nose and my mouth shows, but I'll cover my eyes up. It's a weird way I do it, but I don't know. We all got our weird ways of sleeping. But so I was getting just scared. And then I was thinking like, oh my gosh, the TV's turning on. But okay, so I was able to do the process that I told y'all. Like I was able to regulate my nervous system with breathing techniques, and when you're doing the regulating, it's not about thinking. You don't think about nothing really. It's more about you feeling where it's at in your body, where the sensation is. For me, I was just getting hot. So I was feeling into that. And then I was able to just breathe it out and then process like, why am I so scared right now? And after I did all that, take the test again. And then, you know what? I wasn't scared. I went to sleep and it was a better situation. So there are like so many stories of where you can get triggered. It can be something that seems small to you, something that seems big to you. Another time when I first started listening to Abraham Hicks, like I thought it was like I avoided listening to her for so long because I was like, you know what? It's something not good about this. Something is off with it. And like it was fear. And so as I was actually able to process that and just start asking myself, why am I so triggered? Why am I so scared to listen to this? And I was able to get to the bottom of it. And then I started listening to Abraham Hicks. I was listening to her for a long time. And then it felt comfortable and normal. There was that time where I had to like ease into it. It was like, okay, I can't watch it at night. I could just watch it in the morning. But I eased into it. And then I was fully immersed into it. And then I understood what she was talking about. And then I moved on to listening to Bashar. Like, there's stages to all this too. You go at the pace that feels comfortable for you. I appreciate you watching this video though, and I appreciate you for subscribing right down at the bottom, because I am here for you. I am here to help you. I'm here to give you the guidance that comes to me. And I get on here and I talk about whatever I'm inspired to talk about. And whatever I'm inspired to talk about is something that you're meant to hear. Whoever is watching this, because I didn't get it for no reason. Remember, everything happens for a reason. All of this is an orchestration, and everything is synchronicity. So you're not here by mistake. You're here for a reason. And I appreciate you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.